ourselves. We've been poisoned by this society. We've been poisoned by trying to live like the people who've had us oppressed, and what they are attracted to, we're attracted to. We got to come out of that. We got to be our own people with our own flavor, our own style, our own morals, and we got to flip it. You know, I'm not Mr. Holy. I'm guilty of it too. So it's something we all have to start doing to clean ourselves up. But I think the key is to try to get the money in the hands of people who are doing things, who are trying to be on the right side, the progressive people, the people who are business owners, people who want to own homes, people who want to beautify their homes so it isn't just gentrified, so it's things where we can get money into responsible people's hands, and hopefully they'll hire the community to teach the community. They'll use the community to hopefully clean the community up. I also think the government has a job too. Why you use the armies just to come in and
stop typing in all
guns
caps
on us and make
You're gonna
sure
get
we're not
timed out.
protesting? Why you don't use the armies to come fix fences and roofs and paint walls and do things to beautify the neighborhood? It's like they got to rethink how government works for the people, and they're not going to do it using the same old ways. You're going to have to push them. You're going to have to find pressure points, and you're going to have to use leverage when it's time.
I just got to make a quick statement though, Q.
Go ahead.
If the administration that is in there right now hasn't done it for the past 3.5 years, what do you think?
Now, he just gave an what I consider to be a reasonable answer to an elongated question, and she's going to go right back to feelings. First off, in the chat room, you guys need to stop typing in all caps. You're going to be timed out. The bot is going to snipe you. Typing in all caps, if you want your message to be seen, that importantly, put it in super chat. Because if I see you typing in all caps, the system's going to catch you. And if I see you continue. So now, here's Vivica. Vivica A. Fox coming through, basically going to talk up, get straight in her feelings. And here's the funny thing. You want black men to lead, then you want to tell us how to lead. This woman is the woman who had when they did this whole Jeannie My Jeezy thing, problem with submission. Her 56-year-old self has a problem getting her attitude around submission to this day. Here we go.
It's going to make them start in the next 4 years that they are given more and given more during a pandemic. I know you got to take a break. Hold that thought, but I just got to ask that and make that statement, because you can't make them all of that, and they've been there for 3.5 years. So
I ain't trying to make them do nothing. So
we need them to do something if we're going to trust them to do it.
Hold on, guys. We got to take a quick break. Okay. I definitely want to talk about that. I definitely want to talk about Q. You hit on some very, very good points about the military, but this current administration is using the military to enforce their own agenda, and we want to talk about that. So let's take a quick break. A lot of gems are being dropped here. We'll be back with more Cocktails with the Queens when we return right after this break. Welcome back to Cocktails with the Queens. We have Ice Cube here, and we are talking about his contract with Black America and some very legit questions here. Vivica, before we went to break, you asked about if the current administration.
Did all these legit questions. None of these questions are legit because they ain't about policy. They're not about policy or economics. And yes, he has also advised with Dr. Claude Anderson of Powernomics. Ice Cube did his work, and he has a receipt and a resume to show it. What have any of these women on the panel accomplished? I'll wait. Any of them. And they're questioning a man who's employed at least one of the people on the panel, made another one. And they actually act like these questions are valid, like he needs to explain himself. And he's trying to talk to them, and every turn they just push back. Feelings. And you wonder why my generation does not want to deal with guys my age don't want to deal with them. Look at this.
Administration has not done it in 3.5 years. Why now is this massive push with 2 weeks before the election. I understand Ice Cube, you've been working with this since June, July, but we're hearing about it now. So it looks really, I think convenient. A lot of Black folks, it looks very, like, I feel like I don't, and I know this isn't your intention, but I feel like, you know how they use us all the damn time. You know what I mean?
I mean, both sides use celebrities.
Well, let me also be clear. I find it interesting that Claudia Jordan, which she does say later on, Claudia, you were on Donald Trump's, you're a friend of his. You work with Donald Trump. You've made money with Donald Trump. And just because y'all are just because you all are just now finding out about it, see, far too many Black women, especially in Generation X, act as though men need to come inform them of what's going on. We need to check in with you. And this is what got men. I'm so glad you need to start stepping up. You need to start leading. Do your thing, show your work, go your path, and let them decide to come along and follow your lead. They're talking like they're his mother and he's to check in with them. It's going to get worse. It's about to go off the rails here. Stay tuned. But before we do that, let's check in with the likes. We got the likes good. Cool. Go ahead. Keep it respectful in the comment section, guys. Keep the pejoratives down, because we're going to have a lot of people in here watching. You can say what you need to say without getting over the top.
But check this out. The thing is this. I'm not here saying he's going to do anything. But he didn't make a promise to me. He made a campaign promise to the world. So he's on record for that. Now, we wanted Joe Biden on record. He has a plan, but I don't know if his plan really pinpoints Black people. So we want a plan that pinpoints Black people. We don't know if any of them are going to do it. But when you have a person on record as a campaign promise, you have more to go at him with, because he's told the world this is what he's going to do. And if he doesn't deliver, he looks bad to everybody. Now, why hasn't dude done it in 3 years? I don't know. Nobody's been pressing him. Everybody's been like, he's the boogeyman, run. And nobody's been pressing him on behalf of Black people, because we've been just waiting for Democrats to get back in.
I do not agree with you on that statement. There has been a lot of people that have asked him, what about the wall? What about the kids in cages? I mean, there's a lot of things that, trust me, I'm not going to give him no plus signs whatsoever.
But check this out.
Who gives a shit what you give, Vivica Fox? You can't keep a man. You think Donald Trump cares whether or not you give him a plus sign? One of your biggest regrets is you never had a kid. You never turned that a plus sign. See, I got a problem with women like you, thinking that you talk as though you're someone to be appeased. You're wrong on the facts. You're wrong on the data. You're wrong on the statistics. All you got is a lot of damn attitude. And the brother's still trying to talk. And here's the thing. She's basically said, forget it. She's about to go off the rails, talking all over him. Can't get a word in edgewise. This is about to get real ugly. Over what? Over uninformed women, uninformed about the work a Black man did and is trying to do for Black people. And nothing is good enough. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. Do this, do that. Do it this way. And I need you to ask yourself the overall arching question. Is this what's wrong with Black relationships? This gets played out on micro levels all across this country in Black relationships, especially Generation X. This is what far too many guys are seeing. And the people, I think you've been hurt. You're stupid. If somebody comes in and types that stuff, time them out. Because again, not wanting to see the forest for the trees. Who wants to put up with this? Can't even have a conversation with it about facts. And politics in this country is about money. Let's go.
I'm talking about pressing him to give things to Black people. These are country issues. I'm talking about Black people pressing him to give things to Black people. Everybody treated him like the boogeyman. Nobody would go and press him to give things to Black people. The stuff that he's doing to the rest of the country, I understand that, but We raggedy. We got to get our.
But hold
we
on.
have to.
Julie,
We have to.
We gotta
Hold on.
go.
Hold
We gotta
on.
go.
We have to. We have to press any president that ends up winning. We have to press, or it's not going to work. We can't just press one
He
side.
says when
or
we do
ask one
press them
side.
that the other people are fine people. I mean, is that
That's
right? I mean, and
look,
he won't
I'm
denounce,
not
and he won't
here to
denounce
take
the
up for
people
nobody.
that hurt us and suppress us. And and then the policeman had his neck on somebody's neck for 9 minutes. He never support them. I mean,
Vivica, I'm not here to fight about what he did.
He's talking about policy. She's talking about her feelings. This is one of the things that gets stuck so much because how do you move forward when these people are supposed to be friends, know one another, and this is live, recorded, and what I was really surprised and happy to see so many women in the comment section of these videos so disappointed with the showing of these women. There's a tipping. People are starting to wake up and realize that for the Black women that apply, you're not special victims. You create a lot of the problems you have in your life, and then you wonder why you're in the state that you're in. Is this what's wrong with Black relationship? This dynamic right here.
What he didn't do. Is he a good white man? Is he a bad white man? To me, they pretty much all the same. So now,
I don't agree with that.
With that said,
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with. Can I? I don't agree. I used to be.
Look. I know we've had all kind of presidents, and our situation hasn't changed. So that's why I said they're pretty much all the same when it comes to a president and dealing with our situation.
So let me. I gotta ask this question. Because you're on this show with the cocktails with the queens. And there's a reason for that. It wasn't to have you defend or not defend Donald Trump. It was about, I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women. And it's not, we're not mentioned at all in the contract with Black America. And I want to know.
She basically said, you ain't came on here with the cocktails of the queens. And I care that the contract of Black America does not spell out specifically stuff for Black women. And here we go. President Barack Obama, the initiative, My Brother's Keeper, for Black boys, destroyed by Black women, because demanding that every time something is mentioned for Black America, Black women got to get their own pie. Enough of this. Enough. This is why you keep hearing this matriarchal thing. Every time you want to be better than the Black community. Guess what? When you talk about the Black community, you know what you're really talking about? Black women and children. Black men are not thought of in the Black community, but that's changing. It's changing because men like Ice Cube and other men are starting to step up and say, you know what? This doesn't work. And the problem is you see women who realize that their place in the new way of doing things is going to be moot. They're still trying to drag it back to feelings and women and this and that. And we're going on down the road. You want men to lead. You want them to step up, be traditional, pay the cost to be the boss, 100%, not this 50-50. This is what it looks like. Is this the problem with Black relationships? Because men who lead don't tolerate women who do these kind of things.
I mean, when you mention Black people, you mentioning Black women. So don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true.
That's like administration say that when they
Black people is not Black women.
Black
women are not included in Black people.
No,
Come on,
ladies. But that's like, that's like you saying. That's like when the president says minorities, then he's including Black people. But we all know that that's not the case. Black women have specific needs that are not also being met. And we also feel that there should be some things that are specific to us in our plight as well. And I
understand that.
I feel like as a Black man, you can lead.
No,
I feel like
I just offered y'all to write a section up for it. I just said
I'm here for that.
I don't mind if you
But
guys
I'm
help
sorry.
us.
Oh,
If you
okay.
guys help us write a section. No, I've been open to all kind of experts in putting this together. It wasn't just me. We dealt with experts in all fields of this contract with Black America. So we're willing to deal with experts in the section when it comes to women. So that's no problem.
Okay,
I'll help you write it. I'll help you.
Y'all heard that right. Yeah, you got this thing for Black America, but on top of Black America, we need some extra stuff because we got special needs that aren't being met. Bullshit. This is the problem with you queen, diva, boss level up. You make yourself better than everybody else. This is the problem. We have exalted Black women to the point to where they believe they're better than anybody. Can't nobody tell you nothing. To where every time you sit down, you need to have an outside. You want more than you bring to the table, ladies. And this is what's wrong with Black relationships. You don't want anything that resembles a fair deal. Anything. You want everything. The man's went out and wrote a contract, and now you weren't even bothered enough to read it. But all you know is what you did read, you didn't like. You need him to write the contract with Black women in America. That's what you want him to go write, the contract with Black women in America for Black women to help Black women to get better outcomes that Black women already have. Well, what else do you need? You already counted as a double minority. You already got all the jobs you got the jobs that Black men should have had in the 90s. You're already on top of the Black community from Title IX and so many other things from the Great Society, and look at what it's done. No, we don't. This is why so many women want to hyphenate and want to take out submission and obey, because you don't want to be in nothing with Black men. You want to be up here. Is this what's wrong with Black relationship? Black women always trying to be apart on top, special. You're not special victims. You don't get special treatment. You're Black. And if you want something, get up off your butt and write it yourself. But we're going to see the problem with that in just a second.
Write it.
Say you do get the money. How soon do you think your plan is going to go into effect? When will we start seeing the benefits?
I'm not getting one.
Did you hear what this? Oh, almost cussed. Say you do get the money. Say you do get the money and your plan goes into effect. When am I going to get some shit?
Okay, this is something he's promising to the country, and he's gonna have to implement it in a way he feel that can fit.
Okay, but can I just ask though, what would you see this plan doing for the first year for us if he's reelected?
I'm not part of the administration.
Well,
I'm here for Black people. I'm here to talk to both administrations about the contract with Black America. The Platinum Plan is
What? You can't give me an answer from a guy out of the administration? No, he's like, I'm not part of the administration. And she looked like she was disgusted. Well, let's do something real quick. Seeing as though this yellow nail polish, big mouth chick thinks somebody needs to go ahead and let her know exactly what she could expect to get off a plan that she doesn't even endorse. So when Ice Cube go ahead and write it up, she want to know when her check gonna be in the mail. That's what she want to know. You know, that's the problem. That's what she want to know. Well, according to this, her net worth is $4 million. You don't need nothing, no way, Vivica. Shut up. Don't need nothing. So whatever Black women need, you don't need nothing. You got enough money to buy You got enough money to buy yellow nail polish and wigs for the rest of your life.
Not mine. Didn't name it, didn't put it together. All I did was meet about the contract with Black America. They added some things, and I'm willing to meet with both sides. They can add some things or not. It's fine.
And then, they ran off immediately and did statements that you're basically a Republican now.
We're going to need a team of our people.
That's on them. That ain't on me.
Okay.
That's on them. That's not on me.
I just want to make sure. We just want clarity.
We can't all talk at the same time. I got to ask a question, y'all.
Please.
With over 20,000 lies told to the American people by this president, I'm a former friend of Donald Trump. I work with them. I made money with him. personally, it would have served me better to still stay on his side. Why would you believe after he gets Black votes, his whole goal from 3 years ago was to siphon 20% of Black male votes to cross over to vote to support him?
Yes.
And guess what? He's going to get more than that. He's going to get more than that because Black men see what has this gotten them so far. All the brother did was try to put together something for people to look at and say, here's an ask, a starting point. That's it. All he did was put together something that the politicians should have put together since the 60s. Never did. He just wrote a document, something as a starting point to begin. And all he's getting is pushback. And is this what's wrong with Black relationship? Because we don't need white supremacy, racism, everything else. All we need to do is let somebody get a little bit of sunshine and the crab in the barrel thing will kick in. It happens on the men's side, on the women's side, but the men get it from both sides. This man has employed women on this platform. And count how many times he said, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with that. Well, what have you done? Sit back and impress me. That's why you got a dog.
Why would we believe that he has, once he gets reelected, he will follow through with any of these plans, as opposed to Joe Biden and Kamala, who would be in their first term and be more indebted to do the right thing to get reelected for a second term? Right. Why should we believe that Donald Trump would actually follow through? That's a legit question that I have.
He ain't followed through.
I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to figure that out because I'm not sure if he's gonna do it or not. I'm not sure what any of these guys are gonna do. All I know is we got to push our agenda, no matter who's in there. And in a perfect world, the Biden campaign would have brought me in and we would have really talked about the plan, and they would have did, great things to their plans to specifically target Black people, but they chose not to, and that's fine. But the thing is, I'm not a supporter of neither one of them.
No, I'm saying
that's what's the problem. I'm an independent person.
You'll have a conversation with the administration if Biden wins and Kamala wins. It's not too late, so I don't think it's fair to dismiss what they are. They're not empowered.
You got a woman on here talking about a plan you did not read, meetings and stuff you did not attend, and telling him it's not too late for. All out of line. But if Joe Biden was sitting there or Kamala Harris was sitting there, they would be as polite. If there was a woman sitting here, he wouldn't be getting this kind of pushback. Again, telling this product. We ain't gonna do it, but it ain't too late. Get out there and go get us some stuff. Come back. I need some more yellow nail polish.
Yet. So they really can't say. They really can't say and promise things because they're not yet empowered. We're not even empowered in Congress.
You can't make campaign promises. But why and they have. That's what the plan.
Make the promise when they're in office.
Well, they put out the Lift Every Voice Can Sing plan. That is their promise to America and to the world. That is their promise. So the thing is, you can always promise the people who put you in power something more than what you just came up with. You gotta, especially when you know there's so much more that needs to be done. And he knows that it's so much that falls short in that plan when it comes to actually helping Black people, minority, people of color, diversity. All those are trick words, and Black people don't necessarily get a tenth of that. So we have to really be smart and really make sure that money is touching the hands of the people who have really struggled in this country for hundreds of years.
I have a question. You said that the Biden campaign didn't reach out to you, and you said
they did reach out, but they didn't want to. They said we'll hook up after the election.
And to be fair, they're not the power in party right now. I want to ask you this, if this is true, because I had heard from one of my sources that you were contacted for this Zoom call with Kamala Harris, with D.L. Hughley, Snoop Dogg, you, Killer Mike. They were all on the call and you were not on the call. And that was to speak, that was in September. And why? So you said they didn't reach out. You said the Democratic reach out, but Kamala Harris's folks reached out to you and wanted you to be on the Zoom call because they thought your voice was important. Why did you not participate? Choose to not participate in that?
Well,
they thought his voice was important. A man who's an entertainer, who through his own initiative went out and wrote a contract with Black America, who put the work in, and went and worked with some of the foremost black academicians, economics people, finance people. They thought his voice was important. So important that they want to get him on a call with a bunch of rappers, a bunch of entertainers, all of whom had no plans. They want to get on the Zoom call, a panel. You see these on YouTube every day. Look at how this one is going right now, with 4 people and Ice Cube. And they wanted it to be darn near triple the size. But yet, his voice was so important. Ladies, how many of you would have felt respected for the work you had put in to that point if you had been made that offer?
You know, we had spent, you know, a lot of people time putting a contract with Black America together. And, you know, I just thought that getting on a Zoom call with 12 other.
Sorry, I got to say this. Somebody mentioned in the comment section. He said, Jazz Jackson said Biden was too busy for Q, but not too busy for Cardi B. Here's what they think about you. 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 Fuck all y'all. Goddamn, I'm glad he set it off.
Entertainers all shooting what they believe needs to be done, to me, wasn't going to be productive. And I was also, because my lawyer, Matt Johnson, has a connection with Kamala Harris, and I was promised a call that I never received. So, you know, that's why I didn't feel like I wanted to be on that Zoom call. So I feel like our plan is so broad that you can't talk about it with 12 other people who had nothing to do with it. And these are a lot of things that really need to get done. So I wanted to have a serious conversation and not just a rally cry kind of conversation.
But you said that also that you would talk to anyone that was willing to help. You said you were.
I am, but I just said that they said they were going to call me.
Which you did not hear. Well, you just said you were willing to talk to anybody, and then they tried to talk to you. You didn't want to. You said, no, I would talk to anybody. Yeah, you said you were willing to talk to anybody, but you were willing to talk. You weren't willing to talk to you weren't willing to talk to them, but you were willing to talk to a racist. That's what was said. Let me go ahead and replay that.
Correct, and I never got that call. So when you, I am, but I just said that they said they were going to call me direct, and I never got that call. So when you hear that, you're waiting for that call. It never came.
So no kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want it. Got it.
Well, I want to get.
And there is when I lost it. Did you hear what that woman said? I'm going to let you guys hear it again.
Get things done. I just said that they said they were going to call me direct, and I never got that call.
Pay attention.
So when you hear that, you're waiting for that call. It never came.
So no kind of way don't work if it's not the way that you started. You want it. Got it.
Well, I want to get things done.
The nerve of you. The nerve of any of you. When you act like butter won't melt in your mouth, you don't believe nothing. It has to be your way or the highway. You don't listen to nobody. It's all about you. And then you can actually, that was called projection, people. That was called projection. What she did is projected on the Ice Cube what she would do. And it's going to be my way or the highway. And it was so dismissive, so tasteless, so crass. And I am so glad that women on those channels are finally saying how disappointed they are being represented by women like this, talking to this brother who just tried to do the right thing. Again, all he's trying to do is get a plan for Black America. That's all he tried to do. That's it. But now they've gone from who you're sitting down with, who you're talking to you need to have a deal with women, and you need to talk to who we think you need to talk to, and do it this way. But they started off talking about, we thank you so much for coming on. Is this what's wrong with Black relationships? What non-Black man watching how Black women interact with Black men they supposedly like, who are successful, who are builders, who got all the things you say you want, would sit back and say, yes, I want one of those. I'd love to be talked to like this. Because I make $160,000 a year. He's got $160 million. Sign me up for this.
I didn't want to just. Well,
the vice president.
How do you know they can't make it happen? That's what Lisa Ray said. And this is where she lost. So how do you know they can't make it happen? Killer Mike, Snoop Dogg, D.L. Hewley, they didn't have planned first. It was Kamala Harris and 12 entertainers. But again, go jump through hoops, Black man, and bring me back my Scooby snacks so I can buy my yellow fingernail polish and wigs.
With the DNC, the Democratic Party, we was on the call for probably over 45 minutes, and we never even got to the contract with Black America. We never went through any of the points that needs to be dealt with when it comes to the situation in this country. No one else has a plan that deals with as many issues that this administration or any administration could fix if they had the political will. And you have to give them the political will. And that's what's being done. I didn't want to put anybody on blast for that, but since they saying I didn't jump on the call, it's because I was promised a call where we can actually deal with this in a serious manner. And it wasn't just what I considered a rally call.
But I feel like that actually could have been okay, because you could have led the call and had supporters on.
Cube said, let me try to explain this to you because I was there. I had a call went for 45 minutes, and for 45 minutes, they talked about everything other than the plan that I had Dr. Claude Anderson and all these other Black academicians and professors write. All they did was rally, asked me to get the vote out. They didn't want to talk about the work me and other Black men had done to try to get Black people some economic parity in this country. And you still got these argumentative women out there saying, yeah, but you still could have got out there and possibly maybe backdoored around another way to possibly grease the did it. Why the exactly what Cube did? The reason so many is this the reason or the one the better question, a complete fool out of yourselves because you Luther, because he couldn't say it.
So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took that job. You took that position.
I'll write it up.
So like,
yeah, and he said, I'm going to do it my way. Shut the fuck up. So, one, yeah, man, because it's not there. So when I ask you to write it, you tell me don't write it. Then if I write it wrong, you're going to tell me it's wrong. If I meet with this person, it ain't right. But then if I didn't meet with this person the way you think I should be. Is this what's wrong with Black relationships? We need you to lead and build. But when you do, this is what you get. I don't agree with that. Well, that didn't happen. Well, you could have did it this way. Well, you could have did it that way. Let's finish that out again.
We all Black, so we all.
We're not meeting up with Jared Kushner and Donald Trump about this. You are. So you can't say, well, if you don't like it, add to it. You're out here. You took that job. You took that position.
I'll write it up.
So like,
yeah, and he said, I'm going to do it my way. Shut the fuck up, Claudia. That's right. He's the one doing it. Shut up. You don't like it? Write something. If not, sit down and shut up. How about that? I'm Ice Cube's anger translator, Luther, because he couldn't say it. He had to take this interview to let you guys be crash test dummies and make a complete fool out of yourselves because you can't help yourself. Who else could have got on the platform with them with any credibility? I mean, if Ice Cube can't get on there, who could have? What you're starting to see is there's only one way to get along with black women like this. Do what they say, how they say it, when they say it, and then there's no problem. But if you do anything other than what they think should be done, you will be destroyed.